self-reflective portfolio journal entry, and I have chosen to focus on the importance of resilience within the workplace. Before commencing my PGCE, I worked at Nestle in their recruitment department. It was here I was able to get my first understanding of the importance of resilience within the workplace, interacting with the Robinson-Cooper principles of resilience, and also partaking in a number of other experiments that would gauge how I react to stress in different environments within the workplace. Most notably is this document. It's something known as the Insights Training, which registers what your base personality trait is and what other traits you possess, which you may need to dial up. I attended a workshop following my results, which is shown here, which taught me all about the meaning of my results. This is just a snapshot of the entire booklet that I have received since then. But as you can see, in the persona conscious and persona less conscious, there are two bars, yellow and red, which are above a line. That basically means that these two traits are something which come naturally to me, which are being positive and being direct, respectively. The two below the line, the blue one represents my attention to detail, and the green one is something that they would call show me you care, so whether you're interested in me as a person, which is less important to me as being involved in many tasks. So my own results stated that I was a positive, direct individual who loved being engaged in tasks, but can sometimes lose sight of details owing to my energetic demeanour. Following this, it stated that owing to my demeanour, I can become stressed and less resilient based on different deadlines and responsibilities, combined with different interactions I may have with people in the workplace, as shown in the personal notes section here. Perhaps owing to his least present insights quality, detail orientation, sometimes can become stressed and agitated when too much onus is placed on the completion of many tasks, since Harold can panic and worry about various aspects. Upon starting the PGCE course, I was well aware that there would be a constant need for resilience, especially considering there would be plenty of deadlines. This, combined with the interaction in a school environment with students and my fellow workers, meant the importance for resilience could not be understated. Based on this, my peers at university recommended that I should partake in the iResilience test on the Robinson-Cooper website again. I completed this test and my results came back very similar to how they were 6 months prior. That I sometimes needed to work on dealing with stress in a better manner and sometimes needed to step away from my responsibilities in order to give me a healthy dose of downtime. This made me aware of the concept of mindfulness, so that's basically where you're able to step away from something you're directly involved with and be mindful of what capabilities you're able to complete. So knowing your own capabilities, knowing what is well within your reach in terms of different deadlines, different expectations, and different delivery on what you can or can't do. Within a school environment, a teacher's resilience is constantly being tested, either by students or co-workers, and sometimes different expectations of what must be done within the school environment. I think this is an objective fact, and I believe this is one of the reasons why 4 in 10 teachers quit within just a year in the profession, as stated by a Guardian article I read, which also claimed that most teachers do not have a healthy balance of personal and work life, which results in a diminished ability to remain resilient throughout the year. Actions I have taken to stay calm in uncontrollable situations, essentially, are predominantly ones which I have known have a calming effect on me for a long time, most notably exercise, yoga and meditation. I think it's also important to note that scientists have found that even like 5 minutes or 20 minutes of exercise can reduce stress. 5 to 20 minutes exercise can reduce stress and anxiety, and this is backed up by this article stating the importance of exercise for stress and anxiety, which is done by the Anxiety and Depression Association of America. So it states things like exercise is considered vital for maintaining mental fitness and can reduce stress. It goes into various detail of the importance of exercise for people who are suffering from mental illnesses, perhaps as well. And I think that really shows the effect that exercise is really important when you are feeling stressed, because it is important just to get get adrenaline pumping, and get endorphins into your system. Um, Further investigation into good techniques have resulted in the discovery of yoga and meditation, which I think massively calms me down and gives me the perspective that sometimes people who are in stressful environments, they sometimes lack that, and I believe it ties nicely with the concept of mindfulness that I've previously discussed. Most importantly, I've fully immersed myself in school life and was fortunate enough to be able to lead a departmental meeting on a topic of my choice. I did choose resilience and included resources from the Robertson Cooper principles within that presentation, which is shown here. So, Gunnersbury RE departmental meeting, November 2016. It goes through the agenda and then talks about resilience in the workplace. So I talk about the importance of honesty, define what resilience is, and talk about how to be resilient. So I give a definition here: the capacity to prepare for disruptions, recover from shocks and stresses, and adapt and grow from a disruptive experience, and provide the four Robertson Cooper principles here, which are confidence, purposefulness, social support, and adaptability, and also provide a brief, just few sentences about the definition of those aspects. It was really successful because I also attempted to foster a healthy environment where different points of view could be considered from each different peer, and reflected it back to the importance of social support. So in my time at Gunnersbury, I've noticed that there sometimes is less of an open channel of communications that one would hope for, which would show sort of that social support. And I think everyone agreed with me as well. So like I said, it resulted in an excellent discussion into how we could achieve a good social support system through opening a better channel of communication where people are honest about their priorities and workload, so different members of the department can help each other where necessary, and also just being realistic about different expectations and different responsibilities that you do have that need to be completed. Then I talk about how one can be resilient, and most importantly, I said it's a long process, not one that happens overnight. And then included a little bit about some things that might help. So sometimes this 50 ways to take a break can encourage mindfulness and also reflection on the four Robertson Cooper principles, and my most effective ones. So I usually take deep breaths, I meditate, and as I said, I exercise, and I set a target for the week for everyone in the department. The impact of these of the meeting alone proved successful, as shown by these emails here. I'll just get them up for you. So the departmental meeting to myself and my colleagues. There was one email from Mr. Stringer saying it was definitely the best session so far. Lots to take on board and try over the coming weeks. Then I also sent out the PowerPoint and the slides, and also just a little brief on my presentation to those who were unable to attend. My head of department has stated that she's very interested in taking all of our comments and putting them into action to better our department and functions within the school, which was really rewarding to hear that I'd added value back into my department. On the whole, the research into resilience has been very fruitful, since it's given me a number of different techniques which have helped me reduce stress levels and feel more confident in my position as a teacher when addressed with unpredictable situations, which as a teacher we can all admit that this does happen frequently. The importance of resilience in the workplace cannot be understated, since there will always be the need to show resolve in the workplace, especially in schools, because there is that unpredictability of what could happen in a lesson, what can happen in a day, or just what can happen whenever you're given a situation which you weren't able to predict. And I think that really shows how it's so important to remain resilient as a teacher.